Very good morning, everybody. Now I've got enough time. Right, so Adam Pearson was on about the Carabao Cup and the changes to the Carabao Cup, which affects the top 6 teams. Basically, they aren't allowed to play each other. Well, as we finished in 7th, doesn't really affect us. And the one thing I want to say, because Adam was on about this as well, on how we all think. Well, any cup game is important, and the main point of a cup game is to go out there and try and smash the team that you're playing. Doesn't always work though. In years gone by, with our previous owner, he didn't really care about the cups, to be blunt. But his days are long gone. And one thing I would like to see is, didn't happen last season because of what happened down at Chelsea, but that's all gone. And I would like to see Newcastle United push towards getting as far into the cups as humanly possible. Now that depends on our players. Depends if they're up for it, which they should be, because at the end of the day you get a medal and you also get to lift a trophy if you're fortunate enough to get to Wembley. And we've got the Carabao Cup, we've also got the FA Cup. I favour the FA Cup, however, a cup is a cup. It's a trophy, isn't it? And I would like to see us get back to Wembley, and what I'd also like is to actually get a ticket to go to Wembley, because last time there was absolute chaos where we took over Trafalgar Square, and there was lots of videos from all of the different YouTube channels who went to London. So yeah, I would like it. And I know they brought in the ballot system for the cup and they retained it. Well, I'd like to see that gone. And I think in our lifetime, this year, next year, and years beyond, Newcastle United will be back at Wembley, and instead of coming home with the losers medal, we actually win the damn thing. Imagine that. Over 100,000 Geordies celebrating in the capital. It'd be bloody epic. And that's what I want to see. I want to be part of that. You know? Now, a couple of you have also spoken about another subject. The food bank. And a couple of you have turned round and said, when you go to a food bank, right, you're just like everybody else. You really are. And you're humble. And they are very welcoming. Doesn't matter who you are, whether you walk in, and some of them have jobs. Yeah, they do. And what's caught them, those people who do work, what's caught them is everything's gone up. Every single thing has risen. Now, there's a lot of you going to turn around and say, that's because of the government. Well, no, it's not. If you think it's because of the government, well, you're blind. Because there are things happening in our world which are beyond our control. Here in the United Kingdom, we vote. We put an X in a box. And when we put that X in the box, we hope it ain't wasted. And that's the honest truth. Now, when I was in Newcastle, there was a lady, MP, and she didn't live far from my mum. And when I had my benefit stopped, because my mum and my sister decided to go up to Edinburgh, this lady, she fought, and she got me my benefits back. So this lady is for Labour, and I respect both sides of the house, because obviously she helped me, and when I came to live here, a man, Kenneth Clark, sat there and listened to me and my mum. And like I said, he solved a problem. And because he solved the problem, you had Labour in Newcastle had fixed an issue, and Kenneth Clark here in Nottingham also fixed a problem. So that's an MP in both cases who have done good. So they're not all bad. There are some who are silly, but who's perfect in our world? Now, the thing is this. I signed up with NBV, who are based in Baseford, which is the other side of Nottingham. So I've signed up with them. Now this levelling up process, what that's about. They have listened, and what they will do is they will work on my behalf until I sign off, and that will happen. Now what might not happen is this. I may have to, after speaking to them, take a back seat. Yeah. It may not be Chief Operating Officer. of these assets. It may be that because I didn't attend university, it may be that I just have to take another role. But here's the thing, I still control the asset in each case. So it may be that somebody else who is much more qualified is brought in. Now, NBV will be speaking to the job centre on my behalf. Now, getting back to Newcastle United, I think there's a few other players who may be about to leave. And if that's the case, that's going to free up squad numbers, which means that maybe we have one or two big signings, and we might have 4 or 5 who are at the end of their contract at whatever club they are at. And Eddie Howe and those like Amanda, Dad and Jamie can convince them, because at the moment we do not have a director of football because of the shenanigans of Dan Ashworth, who believed he was sacked, which seems totally bonkers, but that is true. He believes that he was sacked. So at the moment he is taking Newcastle to the Court of Arbitration, and I think he's going to lose because of all the information about the person he was emailing and who he called. And that person wasn't even at Manchester United. He was at the rival, the Blue Half. So as we move forward, the hope is that the club shop gets done out nicely, and as we now have Adidas on board, and we also have another company which I heard about yesterday who are doing hats and other merchandise in a partnership through Peter Silverstone. Brilliant news. Hopefully we will have more people come in who will be bringing commercial income to Newcastle United. That's what I'd like to see. One disappointment, just one. That is, I was watching a video from Eddie Hope, Tyneside Life, where he was chatting about Leazes Terrace, and apparently nothing's going to happen with Leazes Terrace. This is from his channel. I would have hoped they could have put an upper level in the East End, but apparently that's not going to happen. And that's going to kind of leave St James's Park a little bit wonky, because you're going to have the Milburn stand, the Gallowgate with an upper tier, the East Corner, and then it's going to look a bit weird because of Leazes Terrace, which is disappointing because, like I said, the feasibility study is speaking about the best architects money can buy. And to leave that side of the stadium the way it is, does not sit well. But one thing I do expect is exciting players coming to St James's Park. Some of them may have checkered past, like was it Dominic Calvert-Lewin of Everton, who was spoken about by several channels. Me personally, don't rate the guy, but that's just my opinion. What I want to see though is at the start of the season we shoot off like a bloody bullet, and whether that happens, well, I can only think that. People were also talking about putting a bet on. How can you do that? How can you do this? And how can you do that? Well, here's the thing. I'm not putting a massive amount of money on a bet. I didn't put a massive amount of money on the bet that won 80 quid. I put a tenner on. So a tenner, you think about this. When you go for a night out with your mates on a Friday or a Saturday night, do you spend more than a tenner? And the good thing is this. When I put that £10 on, it was always going to be for a good cause, because I spoke to somebody when I was up at St James's Park to turn round and say to him, this is what I'm going to do. And he went, what? Yeah, the money was never for me to go out and spend on clothes or shoes or put towards a bill. It was always going in one place, to give something back to the community. And yet, a lot of you jumped on the bandwagon to turn round and say all those things that you said. There was only one place that £10 win was going to. So this next bet, exactly the same thing, if it wins. So just remember that at the end of the day, it's not all about what you can spend the money on. It's about where it's going and the good it's going to do. And it's not going to be a huge amount of money, because I don't have a huge amount of money to my name. It's about a gesture. That's it. A simple bloody gesture to help people. And that's what you've all got wrong. Except this time, I won't be asking a person to put the bet on for us. No. I'll go into the bookies myself. Price it up. If I'm happy with the price, bam, put the money down. Job done. Now, hopefully, before the end of June, there's 3 tracks. Hopefully. Anyway, I hope you've liked what I've said in this video. I hope you've understood what I've said in this video. If you have, give us one of them. Give us a subscribe and spread the word. More videos are coming all the time. Thanks for watching and enjoy your Friday.